All right guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's currently super windy where we currently are.
Yeah, we had to get Ben back in the channel, sorry.
Yeah guys, listen, let me tell you something. I'm back in the channel. Let me tell you something, right? I did one video without Jamal, okay? One video, and he was working that day, and it was my birthday photo shoot. If y'all haven't seen that video, go back and watch that video with the S1000. But I did one video without Jamal, right? And this man took a whole trip to California and did 5 videos without me. He's lost his mind.
I had to go to Cali. I had to show them where I was.
Right, and then he introduced his girlfriend to the vlog as well. Whoa. But anyways, I'm back. We're currently right next to the I-4 with all this traffic. This is my new place where I currently live. But anyways,
Ben was so mad that I did 4 videos without him. He moved out.
Yep, I moved out. But anyways, all right guys, so back to what today's about. Today is it's a bittersweet day. Bitter because we're losing something, but sweet because in about 3 months we're going to be gaining something on the channel. You know, it's going to be kind of related to what we're doing now. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is, what I'm getting. You know, if you guys think you might know what it is, just comment in the comment section below. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into today's video, all right? You guys like my new shades? Jamal is so adamant about facing the sun, and I always tell him, I'm like, Jamal, listen, I can't look at the sun because I'm gonna go blind.
We're black. It's embedded in our DNA.
Right. And
right.
then when,
our ancestors were slaves. Stop it. We were stuck in the sun for our whole lives, and we're from Africa. I don't want to hear it.
Right. So to compromise with Jamal, Zai gave me her shade so that I could face the sun so you guys can see me. But anyways, hopping into it. So the bittersweet portion about today is that
tell them why the bike is here.
The bike is here because
tell them why they haven't seen it.
The bike is here, and the reason why you guys haven't seen it is because the bike is currently for sale. So I've had the S1000 for a little over a year now. Back in 2019, if you guys remember that video, I pre-ordered the 2020 Bmw S1000Rr, and it took about 6 months to come in. They had a stop order on it for the oil cooler. I can't tell you the reasons why, or you know what that was all about. But anyways, when the bike came in, I got it on January 3rd of 2020. That video is also on our YouTube channel. Make sure you guys go back and watch that as well. But I got the bike. It had, at the time, I believe 5 miles on it, and I've had it ever since. It's been nothing but pure excitement and joy while I've had it. But unfortunately, like I said, you know, the sweet portion about this video is that I am getting rid of it to get my next toy. So you know what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna give you guys like a quick brief summary of what I've done to the bike.
Like a little farewell video, like a little summary of everything that we did, you know, and
everything I did.
What? Oh
everything that I did to the bike since I've owned it. So we're just gonna give you a quick walk around about the stuff that I've installed, the things that I've uninstalled, miles that are on the bike, you know, and pretty much just wrap it all up. All right guys, so one of the first things that I did when I got the S1K was I took it straight over to Detail Grounds, located in Orlando, Florida. I had the entire bike corrected on just the parts that needed to be corrected paint wise, and then I also had the bike completely ceramic coated as well, because obviously it's a bike. People don't wash their bikes as often as they do their cars and things of that nature. So I just wanted to make sure that the bike was completely protected, you know, front to back, top to bottom, with things like that. The second thing that I ended up doing was I ended up going with EvoTech Performance bar ends. The reason for that being was because the brand new model, the S1K, this one to be exact, this bike vibrates a lot at low RPMs, at high RPMs, and with the EvoTech Performance weighted bar end right here, it really helps dampening the vibration that you feel through your hands. So that was a good mod right there. The next mod that I ended up doing was I ended up taking off the side reflectors right here that go on the front, just because that was kind of like an eyesore, you know, so I ended up taking those off as well. And then the next thing that happened, you know, after those mods was the initial unlocking of the bike after the first 500 miles. So I took it over to BMW Motorrad in Orlando, Florida, and they unlocked the bike for me. And it was literally a night and day difference. But also in that same video, I was running into some issues, and I heard it's a common issue with the new generation of the S1000. And what that is that there's a charcoal canister in these bikes, and if you don't start the bike up for a couple of days, what ends up happening is that when you do end up starting the bike, it kind of like sputters and it kind of like cuts off on you because of all the excess fumes or whatever that's in the charcoal canister. So that was one of my issues that I addressed with them as well. And they pretty much told me that, you know, just make sure you start up the bike every day, let it run for a couple of minutes to go ahead and take care of that issue. And they cleaned out the charcoal canister for me as well. The way to, you know, end up deleting that issue with these bikes is to just replace the entire exhaust. If you get like a full exhaust, you know, that'll delete the charcoal canister, and then you won't run into those issues anymore. So the next thing that I ended up doing after that 500 mile, you know, service and unlocking the bike was I really wanted a rear seat. Now, when I optioned this bike out the way that it's spec'd out now, I didn't go with the option of having a rear seat or a rear set of pegs. So funny story, I ended up asking them, you know, how much would it cost, you know, for a rear seat and a rear set of, you know, passenger pegs for this bike. And they, I believe, quoted me $1,500 just for the seat and the rear set of pegs, and I was like, absolutely not. So I got on Facebook and I got on the forums and whatnot, and I was asking around to see if anybody had, you know, a rear seat and rear set of pegs, you know, in fairly good condition or brand new, that I could, you know, purchase, you know, for less than what the dealer wanted, which was $1,500. And I actually ran into a guy who had the rear seat and the rear set of pegs, and he only charged me $500 for, you know, everything brand new. So that was, you know, a big plus for me right there. So the next thing I tried to knock off the bucket list for the bike was the NRC rear fender eliminator, and I hope you guys can see that pretty good right there. But this was probably the best mod that I did to the bike since I've owned it, because nobody likes the, you know, the fender that comes with their bike, and this one was so sleek and subtle. And it has an LED bar that runs through the entire thing. The turn signals are on this side and on this side, and the hazard works for it as well. It's very responsive. It was a super easy mod to install, and it really looks well, and it complements the rear end of the bike. You know, in my opinion, the best out of any other rear end fender eliminators that are out there. And then I almost forgot, I ended up deleting my front mirrors as well, and I went with NRC for the mirror caps as well. To me, that just made the bike feel a little more aggressive, because at a lower angle, kind of like this angle right here, it kind of just brings out the aggressive, you know, ness of the front end. And I don't know why, but when the front mirrors are on, and it kind of looks like Bumblebee or a Bumblebee. I won't say Bumblebee from Transformers. So the next thing that I ended up doing was I ended up replacing the windscreen that comes from the factory on the bike. I went with Puig. Now, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, because if I'm not, I'm sure you guys will end up correcting me in the comment section below. We had a whole debate about it when we actually ended up installing the windscreen itself. But this windscreen has been absolutely fantastic. The difference between this one and the factory one is night and day. And I can't explain to you how it is different night and day. You just have to buy one and figure it out yourself. But there is a difference, I promise. And then kind of wrapping it up, again, you know, I went with Evotech Performance. I went with the front axle sliders as well as the rear axle sliders, but I don't actually have them on right now, but I do have them in the bag, brand new. And then I also went with the Evotech Performance swing arm spools, just so I could lift the bike up and make working on the bike, if I had to do anything like that, a little bit easier. Also, I do want to address a common thing that breaks on the new S1000Rr is this thing right here. So, and going back to what I said earlier, it's because the bike vibrates so much that it literally breaks off right here. You could literally be doing nothing, the bike could be idling, and this portion right here will break off just because of the fact that the bike, excuse me, breaks so much. So I do have to go back to BMW Motard. They do end up replacing this part for free, because obviously it's a factory defect. So that's another issue with the bike as well. But that's pretty much everything that I've done to the bike since I've owned it that I can remember off the top of my head right now. Again, the bike has been absolutely fantastic. I've loved owning it. Oh, wait, one more thing. So before I forget, so there's a stop sale on the S1000Rr right now, and the reason for that being is because of the brake calipers. Now, they are known apparently to end up leaking for reasons that I don't know, but I received a letter in the mail saying that the front brake calipers or the brake lines will end up leaking because of a factory defect in them or whatever. So fun fact for anybody who owns a 2020 BMW S1000Rr or a 2021 if they managed to get one right before the stop sale started, but these brake calipers are going to be end up being replaced to the new M1000Rr brake calipers, which I believe are the in performance brakes or the Brembos. One of the two is going to end up being put onto your 2020 or 2021 or 2019 BMW S1000Rr because these are defective. So that was a pretty cool thing, and I heard they should be coming out sometime in March. If I still own the bike, get a letter in the mail saying, hey, bring your bike in, we got new brake calipers for you. All right guys, so that pretty much wraps up everything that I've done to the S1K since I've owned it. Hopefully I managed to remember everything that I did to it. If I didn't, oh well. When you guys come to pick it up, if any of you subscribers end up purchasing the bike, which I think would be pretty cool, we could actually do a video on that as well. If
just don't waste our time, man. You saw what we did with it.
Right.
I want to hear no excuses. Cash in hand. You know how it is in Orlando. Just don't waste our time. Ben put a lot of effort. He put a lot of time into it. He saved for it. He might not feel it now, but he's gonna feel it in a little bit. But like he said, better things are coming. Yeah, man. Come pick up the bike, dude.
Right. So yeah. So if any of you subscribers end up picking the bike, we'll do a video on that as well. And to any of you new subscribers, welcome to the channel. Sorry I didn't welcome you guys in the beginning, but like I said, that's pretty much the whole summary of the bike since I've owned it to the middle portion till now. The bike is for sale. I'm not really looking to try to make a profit off it. I'm just trying to sell it for what I have left owed on it, so I can go ahead and, like I said in the beginning, get my next toy. But it's been a great journey. It's been a thrilling one. Me and Jamal, we made a lot of memories. We've had a good time, things of that nature. So yeah, you got anything else you want to say?
For any of you guys that are wondering.
Yeah, and by the way, the helmet's not for sale, sorry.
All right, so first, for any of you guys that are wondering, the helmet wasn't for sale, cool. Second, I've ridden the bike one time.
Sorry.
And part of it was Ben being, skeptical. But part of it was that bike is just too damn expensive. Yeah, but I will tell you one thing. The one time that I did ride it, it was definitely enjoyable. Different bike for me, entirely. A lot of power, but the way that it delivers the power is so smoothly. I don't really have anything to compare it to. But yeah, like he said, we got a lot of different things that we have planned for this year, for 2021. Something that Ben has planned, I'm not going to give away, but I will tell you one thing. If you thought the content for the S1000 was nice or even enjoyable, the content that we're going to have for you guys, for whatever's coming next, is going to be ridiculous. That's all I'm saying. As we progress in making our videos and just being more comfortable with the camera, hopefully we can help it transition to our video quality. But like he said, if you guys have any questions, like, comment, subscribe down below. And anything else you want to say?
Absolutely not.
Hopefully this isn't the last video with it, but if it is, just know better things are coming. See you guys.